In my kinesiology practice, I've been asked hundreds of times, how does muscle testing really work? So in this online muscle testing course, we're going to be looking at that in detail. What really goes on in the physical body, in the metaphysical body, so around the body, what goes on in the brain, how does the environment impact perhaps or not? Are there other factors involved that can affect muscle testing? And how can one work with that, around that, to still ensure that you get an accurate answer? So we need to start by understanding that everything in the world has a frequency, whether it's an item or whether it's an organ inside of our bodies, whether it's a thought, whether it's the atmosphere, the frequency between one person and another person. Having a range of complementary frequencies within and around us, so in our whole environment, is going to make one feel in balance. And it is the job of the muscle testing facilitator to determine if this balance is there. Is there resonance, in other words, between the person that is being tested and the item that they are testing, or the organ that is being tested, or even the thought pattern that's being tested? A strong indicator muscle, in other words, a muscle that's going to not go weak and stay floppy, well, that is going to demonstrate a resonance, while a weak indicator muscle will, of course, show a dissonance between the person being tested and what is being tested. So if you think of an elastic band, when you pull an elastic band tight and then somebody comes to pluck it in the middle, it's going to go down. So just like when we test on the muscles, we do apply a degree of pressure, not more than about 1 kilogram, and the muscles will go down. But how do they respond afterwards? How do they come back to that neutral position? How much fluctuation is there? What is that level? Does it come back fully? So all these factors determine whether you have a strong resonance or a weak response, a dissonance. So before one even starts with the testing process, it's very important to prepare the ground. Preparation for most things in life is so important, and equally so for muscle testing. So both the facilitator and the person being tested need to use certain reset techniques in order to reset the nervous system, because the nervous system, well, that impacts everything in the body and the brain and around the field of the physical body. We also need to balance brain hemispheres. We need to make sure that we're hydrated, grounded. So in this course, you'll be learning all of those techniques. You'll be learning the type of language to use, because language is very, very important, because our words carry a vibration, and that will impact the quality of the testing process. So let's look at the outline of the online muscle testing course. Module number 1, we go in depth into how muscle testing really works, and we look closely at frequency, vibration, and the impact that one has on the other. In module 2, we look at what external factors could be affecting the muscle testing process. So not internally of the body, but externally, in current environment or previous environment. So an environment where the person who's being tested will come from. We also go through how to be sure that the info is correct during the middle of a muscle testing process, because maybe things go out of alignment, as is normal, as is natural for us human beings. So how do we test that and make sure that we're still on track? Then in Module 3, we go through two different types of muscle testing. The one is indicator muscle testing, where we're looking for, are the muscles responding and how are they responding? And then we also look at evaluational muscle testing, where we go a little bit deeper into finding out what is the level of the response. And this is quite valuable for if you're testing supplements, for example, and you've got two supplements that have come up as a yes, but the one might be a stronger yes than the other one. So we'll show you how to go about testing for that as well. In Module 4, we look at the case studies of muscle testing. So these are hundreds and thousands of studies that have been done worldwide over a period of 2 decades. And they show the different results of different facilitators, different types of facilitators, different situations. So we go in depth into that because it's very important to be able to see and ascertain for yourself and know how accurate is this process of muscle testing really. Module 5. In Module 5, we look at sabotage programs. So what are these stories that we carry around with us, these excuses that can come up, that can be automatic, that we don't even realize something's going on, from stopping us either A, as the facilitator obtaining an accurate result, or as the person being tested to allow the accurate information to come through. So sabotage programs are a very, very important part of muscle testing to understand. It's not just as quick as, okay, let's quickly test, does that food suit me? Let me hold it, test, yes, no. It's not as straightforward as that. We need to prepare. We need to be calm and grounded. We need to know what language to use. And we need to know how to check for sabotage programs and what to do when they appear. In Module 6, we look at frequently asked questions, and then I show the whole process of putting every step together. So in each module, you'll have a video for approximately 45 minutes, and then you will have a practical video clip for approximately 15 minutes. And in each module, we add a layer, add a layer, add a layer. And then module 6, we put it all together. So you can see exactly now from the start, when somebody arrives in front of you, it could be somebody that you know, maybe you're using or intend to use this just for friends and family, or maybe you're going to be using this in your practice. Either way, person arrives in front of you. How do we go from that very first moment to closing? So we'll show the whole process in Module 6, and then I'll also be touching on self-testing, which of course is something that a lot of people want to know. How do I check for me if something is right, if something is okay? So we'll be looking at all of that in Module 6, and we also have a WhatsApp group. So this WhatsApp group is available permanently for any member of the online muscle testing course, and it's there for you to ask questions and also to share comments or reflection on your muscle testing experience. So because the course is comprised of videos as well as PDF documents of theory for you to download, it means you can do it in your own time. So you can take a week, or you could take 6 months or a year. It is going to involve practice, like everything else, and like learning a new skill. It's like learning how to play an instrument. I always compare it to that. So one doesn't need to rush. Take your time, but it's about being consistent. And it's good to have the support group. And if you're not on WhatsApp, you can also email me and I'll put your comments and questions there and reflect back for you. But it's really good to have a group that is available, that you know whether I'm doing the course now or whether I'm doing it in 6 months, or maybe I do it now and then I have to pause and I come back and I need to jog my memory and I need to ask a question in a year's time. You can return to the group whenever is suitable for you and use that as a support. So that is your ongoing service that you are going to be receiving from me. If you would like to find out more information or subscribe to this course, just email me, helen@helenhansen.coza.